2026 can get in the bin. I have already had to deal with one of the most stressful situations of my entire life earlier this year, with having to move house against our will. I would say that was probably the third worst thing that I've ever been through in my life. The fourth worst thing that I've ever been through in my life happened 2 weeks ago. As some of you may have noticed, my channel disappeared for a little while. And the reason for that is my Gmail account got hacked. Now, this is apparently something that is annoyingly common. I am definitely not the first. I'm certainly not going to be the last to fall victim to a rather elaborate scheme to obtain your Gmail account through your YouTube platform. As you can probably imagine, having a YouTube channel of relatively decent size, you get a lot of emails with requests for collaboration and featuring various products, most of which have absolutely nothing to do with what my channel is about. So I very rarely ever give these emails attention, because somehow I don't think you guys would be at all interested in hearing me suddenly deviate mid-demo to talking about some holistic, herbal, meditative therapy or something, or some weird product. Nobody needs that, so I don't pay them any attention. I disregard them. 2 weeks ago on Sunday evening, I was looking through my emails and I saw a rather enticing looking email from somebody who said they were from Shure Media. Now, when I opened this email, inside was a very professional, very legitimate looking couple of paragraphs inviting me to feature one of their products on my channel. Now, as you can see, my microphone situation is not the best. It is okay. I did a lot of research into this particular microphone and watched a great deal of YouTube comparison tests, budget versus professional, etc. Eventually landed on this microphone, which is very cheap and decent for the money. That was quite a few years ago I bought this. In recent months, I had been thinking much more seriously about investing in some kind of high-end microphone for videos such as this. So, as you can imagine, I sat upright in my seat when I read this email, and I excitedly replied saying, yes, I am very interested in working together. I could definitely see myself featuring a Shure product on my channel. I have a few ideas about the kind of video that I could make. Let's have a conversation about this. They were also presenting the possibility of not only getting the product for free, but also paying me a modest fee for my efforts. So again, I was very interested. A couple of emails later, so there was a proper back and forth going on, I was sent a link. I know. It's so easy from your perspective and from my perspective now to look back and think, no, are you mad? Are you an actual idiot? And I guess the answer is yes, because I clicked the link and it took me to a, again, extremely legitimate looking website. Sure, everywhere. Tabs, things to scroll through, links to click on, pictures, articles, descriptions, paragraphs, details. It was the most legitimate looking website you can imagine. And I was super excited. And I was super excited to scroll down the list of products that were on this page and looking eagerly for the microphone that I had my eye on. It's the one that a lot of podcasters use. Anyway, I found the microphone, clicked the link, then there followed a form. Again, very legit. I have had to do this for other companies that I have featured on my channel before. No red flags were raised. So I filled in this form. Very basic information, nothing that raised any red flags or seemed weird or concerning. Completed the form. I think it then asked me to copy the link from my YouTube into the field below to then confirm my YouTube channel. So I did that. Again, it's a couple of weeks ago now, and a lot of what happened is a bit of a blur. But I think it looked like it logged me out, so I had to log back in. Anyway, as you can imagine, it went downhill from there rather rapidly. After I had filled in all of this information, my phone died. And I don't mean just battery ran out. I mean battery was full, phone just switched off and restarted itself. I thought, oh man, it's just being weird. Something's made it suddenly go on the fritz. What was different about this occasion was, for a split second, it flashed upon the screen, firmware erased, or UI erased, or something like that. And it was only a brief flash on the screen, but I was locked in. I was suddenly very concerned. And I was right to be concerned, because when my phone eventually loaded back up again, it was completely reset to factory specs. All of my apps were gone. My wallpaper was stock. And in a panic, I raced to my gallery, and all of my data is gone. All of my photos, all of my videos, GIFs, all apps, all contacts, files, documents, notes, music, everything. Absolutely gone, wiped from existence. As you can imagine, that kind of dominated my thoughts and existence for a little while. I use my phone, for anyone who doesn't know, for everything. Everything with my channel, everything in my life is on my phone. I do everything with that. I don't have a laptop. I don't have a computer. That's my computer. That's my camera. That's my editing studio. It's everything. And I suddenly found myself with all of it gone. So, fun times. After about half an hour, 40 minutes or so of messing around, I suddenly realised, wait, Gmail. Went back into Gmail, couldn't log into Gmail. Like my phone, everything online, pretty much, is tied to my Gmail account. My Instagram, my YouTube, a bunch of other websites, my AdSense, my Play Store, everything is kind of just linked to that one Gmail account, because I'm an idiot. So everything was now gone. Everything off my phone was gone. All of my recovery information. As I tried to gain entry to my Gmail account, it wasn't recognising any of my passwords. I tried to send a recovery text to the phone, to my phone, and you know that thing where it does a asterisk across all of the numbers apart from the last three? Those last 3 digits were not my phone number. So there was no point in sending a verification code to my phone number because it wasn't my phone number. So at this point I realised that this was cataclysmic, and I then realised, wait a minute, YouTube. So I jumped on YouTube on my TV. Remember, all my apps on my phone were gone. I log in on there. Only my wife's profile is showing on the TV. I am full on freaking out at this point, and I get my wife to check YouTube on her phone and see if she can find my channel, which she actually does. She finds my channel. It's fine. It looks intact. There doesn't seem to be anything immediately untoward, wrong, weird, anything like that. At first. Then I notice that there is a video that has been just uploaded onto my channel, and it's some stupid fake podcast format kind of a thing promoting some cryptocurrency malarkey. I'm full on freaking out, but I'm at least reassured that at least my channel is mostly intact. Compromised, but intact. All of my videos are on there. 8 years worth of videos, all right there on my channel still, plus this weird new one. I obviously then try to log back into my YouTube. It asks me for my Gmail login, of course. It does not let me log in with Gmail. Any verification code or option that I try to click on leads me to a dead end or leads me back to the start. I can't get anywhere. I spent about 2 hours just trying everything I could possibly think of to try and log in to my Gmail. After a little while, I realised it wasn't happening. After a couple of hours of messing around and getting nowhere, I eventually checked my YouTube again, and it was completely gone. The whole channel, all my videos, 8+ years worth of content, hate that word, all gone. There was nothing. My channel did not exist. There was some message on the screen about due to suspicious activity, this account has been closed, or this channel has been closed. It gave me hope. It seemed that YouTube had stepped in and done this, not the hackers. I also figured it wouldn't be in the hackers' interests to upload a video promoting their thing and then delete the whole channel. Surely they want to leave that video up for as long as possible. So it made sense to me that it was YouTube themselves that had closed down my entire channel. I then got a phone call from an obviously unrecognised phone number, and upon answering it, I was greeted by the sultry northern tones of my good mate Matt from Blind Panic Devices, who was also freaking out and saying, "Phil, your channel's gone." And I'm like, I know, I'm trying to deal with it. I'm aware. But thank you, bless his heart, for trying to alert me. He was on the ball. I mean, to be fair, it was literally within an hour or so of it happening. He was noticing that something was weird here. So yes, if you were one of the people that got a notification that Pedal Experiments just uploaded a new video, and you go, "Ooh, what's this?" and then it's some weird cryptocurrency thing, then I apologise, and for the love of goodness, I hope you didn't click on any links or pursue whatever the hell they were promoting. So anyway, it was bad. It was very bad. So I started Googling, obviously, and all of the forums, everywhere I looked, seemed to suggest the same thing. Contact Team YouTube on Twitter, X. So I did that. I have never had a Twitter X account, so I had to start one, I had to make one. It kind of annoyed me. I have no interest in being a part of a lot of these social media websites. I can barely get along with Instagram these days. The last thing I want is more social media apps in my life. So anyway, needs must. So I downloaded X, made an account, tweeted at Team YouTube, let them know my situation, and I threw myself on their mercy. They responded almost immediately, which was awesome, basically saying, can you please try these options? And of course they were all things I'd tried already. But it said, if none of these work, please come back to us and we'll figure something out. So I immediately replied saying, I've already tried all those options, it just leads me round in circles, I can't log in, I can't recover the account, I've been hacked and had all of my information changed, I've had everything on my phone wiped, I have literally nothing. So I sent that reply off and I waited. And I waited. And I waited some more. I think it was about 5 days went by, maybe 6, and I messaged and I messaged and I messaged. I tried not to spam them because I didn't want to risk getting flagged as a bot or some kind of spam account and getting banned or blocked or something. So I didn't go too mad, but pretty much every day I messaged to say, hey guys, I'm still here, can you please help me? Getting kind of desperate now, etc. About 6 days later, I eventually get a reply. And they said, please check your DMs, we have messaged you about this situation, let's get this sorted out. So, punching the air, I then went through the process of getting in touch with their support team. They provided me with a form to fill in, a proper form this time, and basically they were asking me for all kinds of information that only I would be able to provide about my channel, about the videos I upload, the IP address I upload from, a device that I use the most often, things like that. So obviously this was a fairly lengthy process as well. I filled in that form, sent it off. A couple of things, actually, while I think about it, there were a couple of things in there that I couldn't fill in, and it was a bit annoying because the way the form was structured, it didn't allow you to skip past or opt out of a question. You had to answer every single one. And a couple of them, I had no idea what the answers were. One of which was, what was the email address of the account that the hacker used to email you? And I'm like, I don't know. My Gmail's gone. I can't log in. I had no way of seeing my emails to check what the email address was. So I couldn't answer that question, accurately at least. But there was nothing there to click past or opt out, as I said. I even tried to write the words I don't know into the field and then click next. But all that did was then throw up an error message that then said, this is not an email, a recognised email format or something. So I'm like, oh my goodness, it's literally going to force me to write some kind of email address in here, even if I don't know what it is. So I basically wrote, I do not have that information at gmail.com, and then it let me move past that question onto the next one. So I thought that may hurt my application or the recovery process in general, so I was quite nervous about having to do that, but it turned out to be fine. Obviously, a real human being was on the other end of these messages and reviewing my case, so obviously they were able to determine that what my answers were for that question, and hopefully understood that obviously I couldn't accurately answer that question. Anyway, getting to the present, little bit by little bit, progress was made. I was getting fairly regular emails from the support team. Pretty much every day I was getting one email response. I would then immediately reply to that, and then I would have to wait until the next day before I had a reply. So again, it took about a week of back and forth. Eventually, I was able to gain access to my Gmail once more. So at long last, I had my Gmail account, but my YouTube didn't exist. I was at least able to check my messages for the past 2 weeks. There wasn't really anything exciting in there, which, apart from obviously all of the 8 or 9 messages from Google saying your password has been changed, your recovery codes have been changed, suspicious activity on your account, alert, 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 blah blah blah. Anyway, in the wee small hours of last night, I randomly checked my YouTube channel again, and it was there. And I could log into it, and all of my videos were there. And it is still just such a relief. It is, the weight off my shoulders is immense. It's still really upsetting to think about everything that I lost from my phone in the process, but at least I've got 8 years worth of videos still here, still on my channel, so at least I've got that. You're probably wondering, how exactly did I lose everything off my phone? Like, how is that even possible? That's what I was wondering as well at the time. It turns out, when you select Find My Device on Google, when people hack into your Gmail account, they can use your Find My Device feature to send an emergency factory reset command to your phone, wherever it is. Obviously, it's intended as a security measure to prevent your valuable data being lost and falling into the wrong hands, which is fair and reasonable. However, I didn't realise when I set up Find My Device that that was an option, that was something that it could do. I just thought it was something that you could use if you lost your phone to, I don't know, remotely turn on your phone's GPS and see where it is. I thought it was just something like that. I didn't know you could actually completely wipe all of the data off of your phone remotely at the push of a button. If I had, I probably wouldn't have selected that option, just because I'm a very paranoid person, and this is exactly the kind of thing that I've always been paranoid about happening to me. So the fact that it has happened is, yeah, it's literally one of my worst nightmares come true. So yeah, it's bad. It's been bad. It's not fun. I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Anyway, I have my channel back. I have you guys back, and I can start picking up the pieces of what I have left. I had so many cool videos planned and filmed on my phone that I was in the process of editing and planning to release over the coming weeks and months, which obviously now is not going to be happening. So I'm going to have to start from scratch, and I do have some really cool pedals to feature next, and I'm looking forward to start making progress again with my channel. If you currently have a YouTube channel and you are also worried about this kind of thing happening to you, please take my advice. Please learn from my mistakes and do these 4 things. First of all, make sure that the Gmail account that you use for YouTube, because I believe you have to have a Gmail account to access YouTube or to have a YouTube account, make sure that that Gmail account is not a Gmail account that you use for everything else in your life. Make it a dedicated YouTube Gmail account if you can. Second of all, there are loads of security measures and options available to you through Google. Gmail, YouTube, take advantage of every single security option available. I think I only had 2, maybe 3 security things selected on my account, and I thought, that's good enough, that'll do, that's fine. And obviously it was not fine, because if I had just had 1 or 2 more options selected, they wouldn't have been able to hack my account. So make sure you do that. Select a passkey, so you can't log in without your physical fingerprint to access. That's a good one. Just tick everything. Do it all. Third of all, keep a written copy of your YouTube channel ID, which you can find, I think, by looking on your YouTube account. But obviously, if you can't get access to your YouTube channel, you can't find the channel ID, or at least it makes it quite hard to track down that particular information. So make sure you have that written down. If you have AdSense set up, if you have monetization on your channel, make sure you have your AdSense ID account number written down as well. Anything like that, write it down, have a physical copy hidden somewhere safe in your house where it's not going to be seen or interfered with, but you do have access to that hard copy if you need it. Fourth and last of all, back up your data, for the love of goodness. I was so close to buying an external hard drive only a few months ago, because I was so worried about this happening, or losing my phone, dropping my phone off a cliff or off a bridge into a river, anything. I was so paranoid about what on earth am I going to do if I ever lose my phone, or if it ever gets stolen or anything like that. I've got so much on here that is irreplaceable. I need to back this up somewhere. So I looked into it. I looked at the prices of an external hard drive that would be big enough to store everything that I would need, and then basically decided, that's a bit much. I probably don't need that. I'll look at that another time. And then I just got sidetracked and I never returned to that thought. And if only I had pulled the trigger and invested in a hard drive, everything would be fine. Everything would be back to normal. I would have everything back on my phone. I'd be able to pick up right where I left off. Yeah. Like I said at the beginning, there are a lot of other videos on YouTube from people who have had this exact situation happen to them. But as yet, I have not seen anybody mentioning that they lost all of the data from their phone. So I think this is just a situation where not only did I have my Gmail linked to everything on my phone, not just on the computer, but also I had this Find My Device option selected on my account as well. So it was really a perfect storm of tragedy. Yeah. I'm going to stop talking about this now because it's depressing, and yeah, I've had enough depression for 1 year. I would quite like to have some fun again and be happy, please. That would be nice. Speaking of being happy, let's have a quick look at what I've got coming up next. First up on my channel, I have a demo for this, the Stepping Razor by Dronechov Noise Machines. You will have hopefully seen a sneak peek of this at my coverage of the Leeds pedal show. This is an awesome pedal, a very heavy distortion, and I already filmed my demo for this. I was halfway through editing it when I lost everything, so I'm going to have to go back to the start and do this one again from scratch, but I don't really mind too much because I had a lot of fun filming this demo and I get to do it again. So look out for that one, hopefully in the next few days. In no particular order, these are some of the other pedals that I have in the queue immediately following the Stepping Razor, including these two pedals from Ritual Devices, which you also will have seen from the Leeds pedal show. Very excited to try those. Another pedal I actually got from the Leeds pedal show from a gentleman from a company called Little Mountain Effects. A very cool looking tremolo pedal, which looks outstanding. I absolutely love the aesthetic of this pedal, and I'm very excited to demo this one because you know I love me a tremolo, and this one does a hell of a lot of stuff. So go and give Little Mountain Effects a follow on Instagram and look out for my demo of this bad boy. Another tremolo pedal that was recently sent my way is from Over Under Pedals, and it is the R Tremendous. Great name and a very intriguing looking layout. I do love a splash of colour on my pedals, and the multicoloured knobs on here look really, really cool. This is a really, really clever little tremolo pedal. Lots of cool stuff going on here, and it has some control voltage and expression functionality going on here as well. So very, very cool. Looking forward to demoing that one. I can't see it around here. It's probably on my shelf back there, and I can't be bothered to go and dig it out, but I have a Red Panda Tensor to demo for you guys, and this one from Walrus Audio, the ACS-1 Mark II. This one I've been after for a long, long time, and it's only appropriate now that I'm in a new demo room, in a new house, that I get to massively upgrade my ampless demo rig situation with this pedal. So, very, very excited to demo this one. Huge, huge thanks to Walrus Audio for sending me this, and also for their ongoing patience in waiting for me to get around to actually demoing it. It really has been a trial. I've been tested this year. Like I said, I'm ready now to move onwards and hopefully upwards. We'll see. I might just write this whole year off at this point. Just roll on 2027. A huge shout out to those of you who reached out and showed me support, both on Reddit and on my Discord. Shout out to all of you guys. It was so reassuring to know that I had so many of my hardcore supporters all rooting for me and eagerly awaiting the day that I would get this channel back up and running. So thanks to you guys, I really appreciate it. That's it. I think I've covered everything. Thanks again for watching. Thank you for being so supportive of my channel and everything I do here, and long may it continue. Take care, guys. Don't open any weird emails, or even any emails at all. Just don't open emails. Ignore them. That's the lesson I've learned. Take care. Look after yourselves. Bye.